Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Law enforcement remain on the scene at this hour outside a home in Baker, Minnesota. It's been nearly 6 hours since we first received a tip about the investigators from the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension coming to Baker. Valley News Live's Katie Opperly was the first reporter on the scene and has been out there since. She joins us live from the scene. Katie?
Mike, I'm here off of 118th Street South here in Baker, Minnesota, where officials line the street. I can count more than 7 vehicles, and they have all been here for the more than 5 hours that I've been on scene. All of these officials, the Minnesota BCA, the Clay County Sheriff's Department, as well as investigators, are all surrounding one house. It's the house at the end of this road, a tan color with 3 vehicles in the driveway. What we're told by several sources, but has not been confirmed by officials, is that what happened here was the homeowner was assaulted by his roommate, the roommate in custody. Officials have told us that there was a victim who is alive and now at a Fargo hospital. Officials were not able to specify what exactly happened here or even when the incident occurred, only that it's serious. Officials do also tell us that there is no threat to the public. Investigators were seen here in this area taking pictures as well as evidence from the scene. They were not able to give us further information, but they tell us they will be releasing it as they learn more about what happened here through their investigation. Although we don't have that information confirmed from officials, the fact that they remain on scene hours later shows us the scope of what has happened here. For now, reporting live in Baker, Minnesota, Katie Opperly, Valley News Live.
Thank you, Katie, and we will continue to follow this story and provide updates as they come in on our VNL app. 2 men remain in jail tonight linked to a shooting death of 1 man and serious injuries to another in North Fargo this morning. 21-year-old Rang Ayong and 28-year-old Daryl Simmons are in the Cass County Jail. Ayong has been charged with reckless endangerment, theft, and a felon in possession of a firearm. Simmons is charged with criminal conspiracy. Everything started near the Northport Hornbachers, where a red car with all 4 people inside crashed at 7th Street North and Broadway. That's where authorities found the 1 person dead and the other injured. The injured was taken to the hospital for emergency surgery. Ayong and Simmons were arrested nearby, and 2 guns believed to have been involved in the shooting were recovered. No names have been released on the victims. The man who shot and killed another man in Castleton Friday is out of jail tonight and will not face any charges. The Cass County State's attorney late today said that he will not pursue charges against William Dittmer Jr. Cass County Sheriff Jesse Johners said on the night of the shooting, 50-year-old Dwayne Turchin approached Dittmer at his car, putting his hand on Dittmer's throat. That's when Dittmer fired a gun he was carrying, killing Turchin. State's Attorney Birch Burdick says they could not, beyond a reasonable doubt, rule out self-defense, which is what Dittmer claimed, and that because of that, they will not pursue charges at this point.
It is not considered closed. There's always a possibility that maybe someone saw something or heard something, and they haven't contacted police yet. And if that was the case, we certainly would do our due diligence to follow up on that information.
Dittmer called 911 after the shooting, and authorities say he was cooperative throughout the investigation. Some big decisions tonight from the Fargo School Board regarding boundaries. Board members decided to move the Hawthorne-Clara Barton neighborhoods that are east of University Drive to the Ben Franklin Middle School in Fargo North attendance area. The move would take effect in the fall of 2021. Moving the boundaries will ease overcrowding at Carl Ben Eielson Middle School. And in making the move, board members would push back the date to build a new school in South Fargo by 5 or 6 years. Also, the board voted to have the administration come up with a plan by this summer to create more space at Davies High School and Discovery Middle School to ease expected overcrowding in those schools in the coming year. West Fargo students and staff are remembering one of their own tonight, language arts teacher Jamie Swanson, after she died suddenly Sunday morning. She was admitted to the hospital on Friday. Several students told Valley News Live that the 39-year-old was one of their favorite teachers. Virtual counseling appointments are available for those students struggling with Swanson's passing. North Dakota is reporting another 2 deaths linked to coronavirus. Today, we're told that a woman in her 100s and a woman in her 90s lost their lives. Both are from Cass County, both with underlying health conditions. The state's total is now to 38. 25 of those deaths were from the virus, with 9 death records still pending. Another 53 people tested positive overall, 44 of those from Cass County, and 694 cases are considered active throughout the state. Minnesota is reporting another 23 deaths today, bringing Minnesota's death toll to 614. 496 residents are in the hospital, with 199 of those in ICU. Over 12,000 positive cases have been reported, with over 8,000 listed as no longer needing isolation. Keep an eye to the sky late tomorrow morning. The Minnesota National Guard and the Air Force Reserve are going to be conducting a flyover to honor those on the front lines during the pandemic. Look for an F-16 Fighting Falcon and a C-130 Hercules over the Sanford Clinic in Moorhead sometime between 11:40 and 11:55 a.m. They will be flying from west to east. Here's some news that should make your kids happy. Fargo's Park Board has directed staff to work with Fargo and West Fargo schools and West Fargo's Park District to open playgrounds and play structures, but no earlier than May 21st. Parks, trails, and green spaces that provide adequate room for physical distancing remain open for the public. The postponement of cleanup week for Moorhead, Fargo, and West Fargo is creating some more work for garbage crews. The city of Fargo says 20 or so people have been fined for trash on the curb. The charge fee varies from the amount of time it takes city crews to clean up at your home. Keep in mind, Moorhead, Fargo, and West Fargo say that you can drop off your trash at their landfills from June 8th through the 13th free of charge. And to learn more about locations and times, download our Valley News Live app. President Trump is meeting with a group of Republican senators to discuss the economy as House Democrats announce their plans for another big stimulus bill. Senate Republicans say the bill is dead on arrival. Meanwhile, several of the nation's top health experts testified before a Senate panel today. Skylar Henry is on Capitol Hill with the latest.
And there are several checkpoints.
Dr. Anthony Fauci warned against reopening the country too soon as he and other top health officials appeared remotely before the Senate Health Committee.
There is a real risk that you will trigger an outbreak that you may not be able to control, which in fact, paradoxically, will set you back.
Officials say they're working to help states get the capabilities for more testing and contact tracing, and the CDC director says more guidelines for reopening states that the White House reportedly suppressed will be published soon.
As we work through the guidances, a number of them go for interagency review.
Dr. Fauci said a vaccine could be ready by late fall or early winter.
We have many candidates and hope to have multiple winners.
But the FDA commissioner, Dr. Stephen Hahn, could not guarantee an eventual vaccine would be available at no charge for all citizens.
Sir, the payment of vaccines is not a responsibility of FDA, but I'm glad to take this back to the task force.
House Democrats unveiled their new proposal for another massive coronavirus stimulus package. They're calling it the HEROES Act.
The measure includes funding to state and local governments, hazard pay for frontline healthcare workers, and additional direct payments for many Americans.
This is an historic challenge and therefore momentous opportunity for us to meet the needs of the American people.
This is not a time for aspirational legislation. This is a time for practical response to the coronavirus.
The House is scheduled to return to Washington Friday to debate and vote on the bill. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All 4 health experts told the Senate panel today, when asked, that they did not have a confrontational relationship with the president and that he listens to their advice.
Looking in Grand Forks at the home of economy camera there, our Skycam showing just a little twilight out there as we look to the northwest. In Fargo, 47 degrees, a lot warmer than last night at this time. We are balling barometric pressure. Moorhead's airport is 50. 50 for Fergus Falls and Wahpeton as well. Some upper 30s in Roseau and Langdon right now, but all in all, things a lot milder for most as we head into the evening hours. Radar shows some showers making their way into the central part of the Dakotas tonight. Little bit of light reflectivity showing up in the clouds. It's not rain reaching the ground, but the clouds the radar seeing those clouds with water droplets droplets in them. Here is a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. As we take things through the overnight hours, we'll see a chance for some passing showers by daybreak, particularly along and north of Interstate 94. Now, near the international border, where temperatures will be just a little cooler, there'll be a chance for a few flakes mixing in. I do not expect some significant accumulations of snowfall, however. Temperatures in the 30s in northwest Minnesota. Otherwise, most of us will be in the 40s. And no teens and no low 20s tomorrow, not expecting hard freezing conditions. It'll be breezy from daybreak. As we go through the early part of the day, a little bit of a break in the activity, particularly south, although many up north could still be seeing hit and miss showers. It's going to be cloudy, windy, and pretty much just a raw feeling day. And in the afternoon, more rain, and heavier rain at that, could be passing through. I pause this at 5 o'clock, so if you're joining us for Valley News Live at 5, we may have some bands of moderate to heavy showers pushing through the valley, and into the evening, those will work their way into northwest Minnesota. So a gray day, a windy day from the south and southeast throughout, and rainfall for many will be 1/10 to 1/3 of an inch. But up north, there's a better chance at seeing a few with that 1/4 to 1 inch total in isolated places. Here's a look at Fargo's planner then tomorrow. We're pretty steady Eddie in the 40s for most of the day. Maybe a break in rain shower activity in the early afternoon with evening showers returning, and then quieter as we head into the overnight. We'll be drying from west to east. Your hometown forecast shows a lot of 40s along Highway 2 and points north. Otherwise, we're about where we were today in the south, just nowhere near as pleasant. And take a look at this photo shared by Melissa Carter. This is actually a video. This squirrel has it made. I mean, take a look at this closely. He's got the picnic table with the provided snacks. There is a rain shelter right here. I guess a little bucket to go in. And in case he feels like taking a cruise, there's the 4x4 way up in the tree. And I have no clue what this stuff is on the left side of the tree there, but it looks like some unknown playthings. Melissa, thanks for sharing your awesome video. Another beautiful photo. No, this is not Florida. Janelle captured this on Marion Lake at sunrise. Warmer weather after a hump day that will be very wet. A little cool still on Thursday, but the 60s return as we glide into the weekend, Friday and Saturday. 70 to 85 between Sunday and the middle of next week means we might skip spring altogether, Mike Morkin.
Oh, boy. No, I like a good spring. That's a good part of the year. I like that.
Yeah, we do have some spring-like temperatures in there.
All right, thanks. We have found that coronavirus cases in prisons represent some of the nation's biggest hotspots. A look inside the problem next on Valley News Live, 10 at 10.